Hi, I am Sarah with See You Later Leaner, and I am here with Farrihn, one of our coaches. We both coach lifestyle. So basically, people who want to get in better shape, lose weight, take their fitness to the next level. People who are not planning on stepping on the bodybuilding stage.
Yep.
And so today we are coming at you with the topic of travel dieting or travel tracking, how to stay on track when you travel.
Yeah.
So I will let you get started, Farrihn.
Okay. Well, Sarah, you just came back from a big trip.
True.
Big trip.
This is a very relevant topic for
Tell
me right
everybody
now.
where you went.
So I just got back from Tokyo.
Oh, the dream.
It was very cool. Adam and I were traveling for a bodybuilding show where we had some athletes competing, and
you won.
And we did.
Shout out, Emily. Great job, girl.
So our client, Emily, she won the very first Fit Model Pro show ever, and she is now going to go to the Olympia.
Huge.
The first Olympia qualified athlete in Fit Model. So we are super excited for her. She was one of 47 pro Fit Model people that showed up at this show. We were incredibly proud of her, and this is a huge win. So it was that was like the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Along with getting to see Tokyo for my first time. And let me just say, the food was amazing. So
it looked amazing.
I saw
it on your Instagram.
Oh yeah. I was like, people will be like, what did Sarah do in Tokyo? Eat.
That's what I would do. I mean, that's how we experience cultures. It's through food.
Yeah. So, very relevant topic for me. So I will say there's a lot of ways to approach travel dieting.
Yes.
There is, I'm going to stay on track and track everything I eat. And then I'm going to eat mindfully and try not to blow it completely.
Okay. I like that one.
Yeah. And I will admit, typically when I travel, I try to eat mindfully and not blow it completely. That's the approach I tend to use.
Me too.
Yeah. And so there's definitely different ways we approach both of those different types of mentalities. And then there's kind of a combination between those two, like tracking your food in the morning and early afternoon, and then having an untracked meal for dinner each night, because that's typically when we go out to eat on vacation. So on my trip to Tokyo, I will admit, I did the mindful eating without trying to blow it completely. And I did that pretty well until the end of the trip. And then by the end of the trip, I was like, I'm eating all the things.
I would too.
I was like, this is a once in a lifetime trip. So I'm going to eat all the things.
Win in Rome, girl. Yeah. Win in Tokyo.
Win in Tokyo. I will say that the nice thing about Tokyo is most of their food is very healthy. A lot of fish, a lot of sushi, and their sushi is very simple. So it's all about the flavors in the fish, and it's not like with all the fatty sauces and the fried
cream cheese.
No cream cheese was in anything I touched on this trip. None of the rolls or it was a lot of sashimi.
Okay.
Nothing fried at most of the sushi places. So
nice.
I feel like the sushi was very clean and pretty healthy.
Unbothered.
Yes.
Unbothered sushi.
Very simple. It's all about the flavors.
Nice.
But I will say Japan is big on desserts. And lots. I did indulge in some Japanese desserts.
What was your favorite?
There were so many good things. I would say a lot of the desserts are like very cream based. Okay. So, but it's like a light cream. The desserts are not super sweet, which I like because I'm not a huge sweet person.
Me too.
So they're not super heavy and they're pretty light and like creamy, airy. Even like the cakey parts are just like a light cake.
Okay.
So I had like a strawberry shortcake that I think was my favorite thing. And it was just like this. The fruit was the sweetest thing in it. So like the strawberries were the sweetest thing in it.
Okay.
It's a very like light cream, light cake. So even though I did indulge in some desserts, I don't feel too bad because they weren't fried. It was a fruit-based dessert, all right?
That's cool. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
Cool.
So when we're dieting like that, I like to, if I'm not going to track,
Mm-hmm.
I like to focus on protein early.
Yes.
So I like to get my protein in. Try to stay low fat, low carb in the morning and
Mm-hmm.
early afternoon. So really focus on the protein, lean protein sources. I a lot of times will go to either like if I'm in the United States, Instacart
Mm-hmm.
stuff so that I have some stuff in my hotel room, or go to a convenience store where I can pick up some like Greek yogurts and little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I usually pack protein powder, some protein bars, maybe tuna packs, things like that, that I know I can. Beef jerky,
Yep.
love beef jerky, and
Great.
the like chomp sticks, those
Yeah. Those are my favorite
yes,
too.
love those. Stuff like that I can have in the room so I can really get high protein in early in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then for dinner, just not really track it and kind of know that I've saved carbs and fats so that I can indulge a little more at dinner and not feel like I'm just like blowing it out of the water.
I like that. I love the packing tips, right? Those are all great things to pack, especially when you're going to a place that you don't know what to expect
Yeah.
as far as food sources. So I also will add a little bit to that too. Like when I am out and about, I don't think most of us are going to be bringing a food scale, right?
There was no food scale in
No.
Tokyo.
So with my clients, I have a helpful hand guide that I give them as part of their nutrition. And what I encourage them to do is when they are looking for how to plate their meal, they're going to look for a palm size of protein. Start with that.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you're going to do is add a little handful of carb source. And then the last part is going to be a thumb full of fat. And so that right there gives them this idea, this visual when they're creating plates, when they're traveling and stuff. Obviously, we want to try all the foods, of course. Again, that's how we experience cultures. But also, if you are trying to be a little bit more mindful, if you are a little bit more going through like a dieting phase, that can always be a helpful tip. One thing that I know for me too is when I am traveling, I do like to keep those protein sources on me. So having like a little bag of the tuna that they make nowadays, not in a can anymore, it's in the bag. So having that, having a protein shaker as like my water cup.
Yep.
So I'll fill that up with water. And then if I'm feeling hungry, then I'll throw a protein powder in there. Those are so easy to pack in a little purse. And then also like a beef jerky stick, because sometimes with traveling, sometimes we don't know when we're going to eat the next time. And the worst thing you can do is to get hungry, because that's when we start to make those decisions based off of what our tongue wants, what our tummy wants, and not necessarily what our brain is like, hey, we're actually on a dieting phase right now.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Agreed.
So for me, packing those sources as I'm moving around and traveling, that's important.
Yeah, 100%. I think having those easy, lean protein sources on you is huge. And I honestly encourage people to do that even when not traveling.
Same.
Have it in your purse, have it in your car, have it in your gym
Yeah.
bag. You know, a lot of times we just get caught up and caught out and we're like, oh my gosh, what do I eat? And
Yeah.
like, it's so nice to have those easy sources just right there.
Yep.
I will say one of my things I love doing is mixing protein powder with my coffee.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Yes. I mean, it kind of acts as like your sweetener and your creamer. So, you know, while we were in Tokyo, and I do this pretty much on all my trips, I just, you know, have my cold coffee, mix in my protein powder, shake it up. And I'm like, there's your breakfast, or
Coffee.
with a little something else. I need a little more than that for breakfast, but you know,
Yeah.
part of my breakfast is, and I get, you know, 25 grams of protein right first thing in the morning.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I like that too. Because most of the hotel rooms you go to, no matter where you go to, always have like that coffee maker.
Yeah.
So, and I love coffee, and I know so many of my clients do too. So
Love coffee.
that's a great way to start it.
Yeah.
Have you ever traveled, like, have you ever done camping and had to think about your sources? Because I have a fun little story.
No.
No.
I'm just going to, I have not done a lot of camping.
Yeah.
So, no, I have never camped and tried to track.
No.
No. Do tell.
Your girl doesn't do a lot of camping either. I'm outdoorsy, but I've seen Blair Witch Project way too many times, and like the woods scare me.
Yeah.
But so my camping story actually comes from an outdoor music festival, and we did glamping, and I was on the last month of my show prep. This is when I got on stage back in 2021, right? Sounds crazy, right?
You're brave.
It's a 4-day music festival, and I'm out here a month before my show. And so what we did was we actually drove out there, and we were able to bring an ice chest full of things. And I had already cooked chicken and put that and portioned it out into vacuum sealed bags.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the same thing with some carb sources. Sometimes I just mix the bags in the food saver bags. And so I would freeze some of those, and then some of those I would leave unfrozen.
Yeah.
So that I would be able to eat those. I brought a bunch of protein shakes and protein powder to be able to mix. I brought a bunch of lean protein sources. And then before I went out to do the music festival, each day I'd get into my Fitness Pal and log as much as I could of that. And then I would leave room for, okay, I know there's going to be food sources there. So I'm going to go and ask a few of them, do you guys cook grilled chicken? And grab some of that too. So I would leave some room for food to buy out there. But for the majority of it, I would do a lot of what other people do for traveling, which is like pre-pack bags.
Yeah.
And then put in those ice packs and then pray it gets on the plane.
So have you had Costco chicken bites?
I have.
Okay.
Those are great.
So convenient. And
Yes.
then it's already like in a little container. You can freeze them too if you want to take them with you.
Uh-huh.
Pre-packaged, basically like all you have to do is scan the thick barcode and you're tracked, and I think
Yes.
it's like 24 grams of protein per little thing. I'm like, those are the best invention ever.
There's
I'm like,
so many of those sources.
it's so great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if somebody needs to take chicken with them, I'm like, freeze some of those babies.
Agreed.
You're good to go.
Yes. They make so much of that stuff nowadays where we also do a sous vide steak that they sell too at Costco. It comes in 2 bags and the steak is cooked perfectly. It's seasoned well. All you need to do is just take it out of the bag and portion it out.
Yeah.
There's times where I can't cook. I can't cook because sometimes I'm not the most time efficient with my time. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Sometimes my husband doesn't feel like it. So sometimes we spend some money on stuff that's already cooked, but I would rather spend money on that source than going, oh my God, I'm hungry. Where's the closest In-N-Out? Where is it?
We keep chicken bites on hand all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just great if you're running short on time and you need a quick meal.
Yep. Agreed. And
So-
those are easy to travel with too.
100%.
Yep.
Something you said. I also have a story about traveling on prep.
Okay. Do tell.
And it leads well into tips. So I was traveling for some clients' shows.
Okay.
Adam and I were going together. I was in prep, and I packed a bunch of my protein snacks, and I thought, I thought I was really well prepared. But I just assumed that every restaurant was going to have grilled chicken.
Oh no.
Like every restaurant has grilled chicken on the menu,
should.
right? I feel like that's a normal thing that almost every restaurant has.
Yes. Is it
So-
not?
No.
Oh.
So Adam and I walked to 3 different restaurants.
3?
The only 3 that were walking distance from our hotel, and none of them had grilled chicken on the menu. We were like, am I in a parallel universe?
Whoa.
So at that point,
3?
yeah. And like one of them was a really like trendy restaurant. So I feel like grilled chicken must not be trendy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the restaurant in our hotel, they had a chicken Caesar salad, but it was fried. Like it was like chicken tenders on.
Oh my God. Okay. A Caesar salad is already fat enough.
Right? So
Wow.
I was like hangry at this point, because
Yeah.
I assumed I would be able to get a grilled chicken and a veggie somewhere.
Yeah.
I could not. So in my hangry rage, I'm sitting at the
I know this feeling.
I'm sitting at the hotel bar while Adam's eating his meal,
Yes.
and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I am on Instacart, like
Yeah.
like in a panic with ordering things on Instacart. And I will say, Instacart is a lifesaver.
Nice.
I was like, it got me through that trip. I ordered all the things I needed from Instacart.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, now that we have those amazing apps and things, like that is going to, I also probably could have like Uber Eats a chicken breast, but I was just like, I'm going to take care of this, because we were there for a whole weekend.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to need food this whole weekend, because clearly I can't get a chicken breast at any restaurant.
Right.
So I just like Uber Eats everything for the weekend, or not Uber Eats, Instacarted. But
Nice.
you could also probably Uber Eats a chicken breast from somewhere
You probably
healthy.
could, yeah.
Here in Vegas, we have so many options. You could get something from Protein House, or
Yes.
like
Foodie Fit, which leads me into another thing too. For the people that are going out there to travel for longer periods of time, maybe you're visiting family and you're out there for 2 weeks or something. There are meal prep companies that are online that you can order all of your meals from, and then you can ship those meals to that house. You might have to have that awkward discussion of like, hey mom, I love you, but like right now I'm, focusing on a goal, and that goal requires some consistency from me. I have some things that are coming here that will help me with these goals. Just because I'm not eating your food does not mean I don't love you.
yeah.
Sometimes you might have to have that discussion, but it's a good way to stay on track. So those meal prep companies make it so easy. And then they will just ship everything to your house very quickly too. So that's always another option.
That's a great one to bring up, because I typically don't think about that, but we have had clients do that when they came to visit us before.
Yeah.
Clients, friends, those 90% of our friends are in the bodybuilding world. So that's not a weird thing for us at all, having somebody ship pre-made meals to your house.
Sarah's like, thank you. I'm not cooking.
Yeah. I'm also like, just get enough for me too.
Yes, there you go. I like that.
But yeah, those are amazing services, and you can get them delivered pretty much anywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's a great tip. It's one I don't think about, but
Yeah. And then also check with wherever you're going ahead of time too, because there are meal prep companies out here in Vegas. We have so many. And then there are plenty of meal prep companies everywhere, all over the US, wherever you go.
Yeah.
So you can always look ahead of time and create that type of plan, because I know for me, when I am on a physique goal and I am really trying to be strict with my diet, when I go to a meal prep company, they're so transparent. They're not going to be cooking your things in oil. They're going to tell you exactly what's in there. They're going to focus more on whole single ingredient foods. And the portion size are usually what you're looking for. We're not looking for like, big, huge yard house, or gosh, there's another one that's just huge portions. We're not looking for those portions. We're looking for good size meals that fit our goals. And so looking for something like that, we have Foodie Fit out here. We have End Goal out here. Those are great ideas, just examples of Vegas ones.
Yeah.
So look ahead of time where you're traveling and find a meal prep company.
yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So if somebody is tracking, I would say that is a great plan.
Yeah.
We kind of covered, both of us have had to track on vacation before because we were in prep.
Yes.
Obviously, we admitted that most of the time when we travel, we are having a little more flexible approach, which I encourage clients to do whatever fits, whatever they feel comfortable with.
Agreed.
And some of my clients are not comfortable taking a whole week off tracking. They are afraid they're going to backtrack. Even if they're eating mindfully, it just is a little too scary, a little too free. And that's fine. And so, I have clients that go on trips and track the whole thing. If people that are in prep, obviously you're going to be tracking everything. But then there's the more flexible approach that we both discussed, which I think most people who are not in competition prep are going to take that approach. So just like a mindful approach to eating healthy, high protein in the morning, a little more like freedom at night, for example, having, if you want to work in a cocktail or something like that, totally fine. And my other thing I will talk about with travel is a lot of times people come back and they're like, I was terrible. I blew it. And I feel like I've ruined all the progress I made.
Yeah.
And what I will say is most of that is water.
Yep.
Yeah. I came back from Tokyo up like 10 pounds.
Uh-huh.
I cannot gain 10 pounds in a week.
No.
I cannot physically gain 10 pounds of fat in a week.
No.
So most of that is water.
Yep.
My sleep schedule was off. The types of foods I was eating were different. My
Yeah.
digestion was off. So I came back and my body hurt because I was sleeping in a different bed and then a 12-hour flight and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I could tell my ankles were swollen when I stepped on the scale. Of course, it's a little freaky seeing 10 pounds up. But I've been home like 3 days and my weight has dropped. I haven't dropped all of it, but I think I've lost like 6 of the 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So
Normal.
I always tell people, first of all, most of what you're seeing is water.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, our bodies are super resilient. You know,
Yeah.
you literally can't gain that much weight in a week. Give it one solid week of being back on your plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you more than anything, you're going to be right where you were before you went on that trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So the key is not to let it scare you and be like, oh my God, I've ruined everything. Just get right back on track.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes people get so afraid to travel and oftentimes they lose sight of like, you're going on vacation. Like, please enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to enjoy yourself. Do we need to go overboard and treat this like this is the last week ever? I better get everything I want ever to eat in.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't. Try to be mindful, right? Like we don't need to be eating every hour. We want to be snacking every hour. But definitely enjoy yourself while you're out there.
Absolutely.
And then when you come back, that's what coaches are for, to help you get back on track.
Yeah.
To make sure that you don't just feel these icky feelings like, I blew it. You know, YOLO, I'm going, like, I'm just going to like do whatever I want now and, you know, feel all this shame. Like that's what coaches are for, to encourage you to get back on track, to say, hey, you're okay. It was 1 week. You're fine. Everything's cool, right? That water weight is just water weight. It goes away. So I've had a couple of clients that just went on vacation and not only did they feel amazing going into their vacation, but then when they came back, like, hey, Farrihn, I'm feeling island time right now. I'm feeling a little slow. I'm just feeling relaxed. I'm getting back into my groove. Girl, that's okay. You're going to be fine. Let's start with just getting back on track with workouts. That's what coaches are for, to help you get back on track.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, all this vacation talk makes me feel like I need to book a trip somewhere.
Girl, me too. Give me my sunglasses. We're going on vacation.
I need a beach.
Yes, girl, me too. That sounds amazing. I'll take a beach any day.
And with our approach, we can be sipping some cocktails on that beach.
Yes, agreed. And my tie with a pinky out.
Love it. All right. Well, we will be back soon with some more tips and tricks on how to stay on track and how to reach your lifestyle goals. See you later, Leaner.
Bye.